Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to the next video in this section of basics. This time we're going to be talking about the toolbar, and that's this guy that runs along the top here. We're going to be covering each individual item within the toolbar. It may seem a little bit overwhelming, but follow along and you'll get to use a lot of these tools as we go through the course. So you'll become more familiar with them the more you use them. Alright, let's jump in. Okay, let's start in the upper left here in the insert menu. Pretty much everything you're going to be putting into Sketch is going to come from the insert menu, and you've got a lot of different options here. We've got shapes, and there's various shapes here. You'll notice on the right hand side you've also got these letters. These are keyboard shortcuts. Some have them, some do not. You've also got the vector drawing tool. You've got a pencil tool. Text will allow you to import or insert text into your designs. You can import different images into your designs. Artboards, I think we talked about a little bit already. This is where you would insert an artboard, or you can just hit A on your keyboard. Slice, you could take a slice of your design generally for exporting, so if you only wanted to export a portion of it, you could use this for that. Hotspots, you can assign certain hotspots to take actions within your designs. And then you've got these cool little symbols down here, and these allow you to insert pre-designed items within your designs. And this could be iPhone keyboards, iPhone elements like buttons, status bars, indicators, and then you've also got the same with text styles. So you've got lots of different options of things you can import. Really quickly, I'll take you through some examples of putting shapes into the canvas. Let's go ahead and just choose the rectangle tool. I'm going to click and drag, put some out here. This time I'll use a keyboard shortcut. I'll hit R, and I can draw out some more. So there's that. Let's go ahead and grab a triangle. Do a little bit of that. Place that guy over here. I've also got the oval tool. I'll hit O on my keyboard for oval. If I hold down Shift as I click and drag, it'll do a symmetrical oval. The other option would be to hit O, and then I can make kind of any custom shapes that I want to. Same deal with the rectangle. If I hold down Shift, it'll allow me to put in a symmetrical shape, or I can do whichever kind I want. We've also got the option of inserting vector shapes, or using the vector drawing tool. I'll hit V on my keyboard to bring that up. And you click your first point here, it'll put that there. And as you move it around, you'll notice that the smart guides kind of activate to show you where you're placing it in reference to either other shapes or on a straight path, either up horizontal or vertically. Once you place that point, you can go to your next point. If you don't like where you placed it, you can hit the delete key on your keyboard, take that back. You also have the option of clicking and dragging to place kind of a curved point here. And if you do that, Sketch is going to try to help you out and place a similar curve on the other side. So you have that option as well. Once you get to the end, you'll kind of click your original point, close off that design. You also have the option to go back after you've done that and kind of fine-tune things. So you can take these little points, you can stretch them out a little bit more, you can line them up on a vertical axis if that's what you needed to do. You can also change the type of points that you've got going here. Right now, this point that's selected under the point types is a straight point. You can change this to be a mirrored point and manipulate the handles. For a mirrored point, both handles are going to act in unison. So as I drag it inwards, drag it outwards, they both follow the same kind of path. The next one over here is the disconnected. If I click that, now these handles are independent, and I can move these independently of each other and create some other unique designs. And then you've got this guy at the end, which is asymmetric. And then you can really kind of mess around with, they stay on kind of the same path like the mirrored, but they are somewhat independent of each other in terms of length. So there you go. Change that back to a straight point. So now that we've got that, I have a couple options. I can hit enter on my keyboard to close off the path, or I can click over here, finish editing. I'll go ahead and just click that. Now I've got this weird kind of shape. It's just a border right now. If I want, I can apply a fill. I can take that border off, and then I can manipulate the colors of the fill. So if I wanted to put some kind of gradient, I can do that as well, and I'll go into gradients a little bit more once we get into this section of the basics, but you kind of get the idea. Next up in the insert menu, we've got the pencil tool. I do not use this tool very much, if ever, but you kind of get the idea. You can draw out kind of a custom shape with your pencil tool. You hit enter. You've got this guy here. Double click, and you can manipulate these points. You can delete points just like you could with the vector drawing tool. Very similar to that in terms of being able to manipulate these and change the point types. Enough of that guy. I'll delete that. So the next tool you got here in the insert menu, click that. You've got the text tool. You can click it here or hit T on your keyboard for text. And you got a couple options. You can click and start typing something into here, or you can click and drag and create a container that will contain your text. From the insert menu, you also have the option of inserting images. We'll do that really quickly. It's pretty straightforward. Select an image and it'll bring it in here. Once it's in, you can click the handles and you can resize if needed. You can double click, and if you need to crop it, select the area and crop. Some other options there too. We'll get into some of that stuff later in the course. Alright, now we have other items within the insert menu, but we're going to be using these within the course, so I'm not going to go through each and every single one. I just want to give you a brief example of some of these. Let's move on. Next up, we've got the data item here, and this is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and draw out some shapes that we're going to use. So here's a rectangle. Let's hit T on our keyboard for text and just insert something here. I don't really care what it says or the particular size. I do care that it's there. So the first one with this rectangle, I'm going to come up here to data. I'm going to go to this guy and go faces. This will allow you to randomly select faces from here, and you can resize this and then use that. And if you keep choosing, it'll keep picking more random stuff that you can use. These are great when you want to insert maybe profile images into some of your designs and you just need some random stuff. Very cool for that. You also have the ability to do kind of patterns. If you hit tiles, if you resize that, you'll see the actual pattern, and it just repeats at a certain point. Just depends on how much you actually want to show. You might want to just do a slice, but that's pretty cool stuff. With the text tool here, with that selected, I'll come up here to data. I'll choose sketch data, and I want to populate name. Same thing if you're designing something like a profile screen or something where names are needed and you don't want to come up with all these names on your own. This is a very handy tool to do that for you. You also have the option of doing world cities. I don't know if that's as used, but you can do that as well.